Tutorials by Andrew Buckle. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you a combination of Photoshop and Painter, and particularly using the gradient from Photoshop and copying that into Painter and then using that as a paste buffer for the blob filter and create some really great colourful effects. Now, first thing to do, I've just got this gradient here, but I'm just going to go back, show you how to create gradient, one gradient anyway. So I'm just going to use this gradient and going to use radial and mode difference. Now this is obviously one of the default gradients, so it's just there, and I'm just going to add that across multiple times till I'm happy with the design. So I'm just going to go with that. That's quite nice. So copy it. Now there's a slight odd thing when you copy this. I'm just going to quickly go to edit and copy. Now then go to paste, and you'll suddenly see that that doesn't seem to exist. Very odd, because obviously I just copied it. And actually on my Windows machine it does seem to copy. Don't know why, but anyway. Get around that very easy. Just quickly go Control V, and it, as you can see, it actually has pasted it. Most odd. Right, what you can do then, you can also, if you want to, you can just say select load selection, and obviously just use that. Click OK, and Control C. So you've definitely got that in the paste buffer. That's to make certain, but should copy it anyway. If it doesn't, that's a quick way around it. Now I'm just going to undo that, get rid of that, select. Because the reason I wanted the paste buffer is because I want to go to this. This is the effects and blobs, and there's a paste buffer option. There's also a current colour, but there's paste buffer. And you can set the number of blobs, and I'm going to go for 100. Don't want to make it too big because it does actually slow it down a bit. But you can see you can distort, and you can obviously modify the size. Maybe you don't want to go too big if it's, if you create a very small document, the other one. But you can, of course, you can always push it up to 500, say. I think the document was quite large. You can see create very small ones there, and then go 50, and then 500. You've got that. Click OK. So you've got that lovely gradient design. Now that'd be really tricky to create that gradient in Photoshop. I'm certain it's possible, but with a bit of distortion, liquefy, you could do it, I guess. Now, what you can also do, go to layer and new layer, because I don't want to actually apply it again, because you can actually apply the effect and all it does is push out the rest. Now I just want to add that. Now one thing I like, edit and fill, and I'm just going to set current colour there. There's obviously you've got other options. You could go for gradient, quite nice. Go for one of these gradients, looks quite weirdly, it's got some transparency there. Now I'm just going to go one, otherwise I could keep choosing. Right. So I'm just going to go with that. Click OK. Now I've actually got some pixel information. I can actually use, again, I can use blobs filter, effects and blobs. And I'm just going to, it always goes back to the current colour, which is odd, but so you can go and paste buffer. And again, I can vary the size. I can go for 400. And it will do in blobs. You can see it just recalculating it. And you can randomise it as well. You can refresh that. So you can get a different seed there, and it applies that. Now, click OK. Now I also go. Now I could create more. I'm just going to go for another layer, new layer. Quickly do that, and then go fill that. And maybe use it. Current colour doesn't matter particularly. Current colour, and then effects and blobs. Again, paste buffer. You see that. I'm just going to refresh that so you can actually get a slightly different design. Click OK. Now at this point you'll think, well, what's actually happened? You can't actually see it now. Sometimes if you actually click on those, you can actually, does eventually sort of show that it's got it in the layers. Of course now, what you can do, go over here, layers, you can actually go for difference, create some really weird and wonderful designs. And of course you've got that one as well, so you can say magic combine, multiply. I've just tried them out, so you can just go through it. I mean, I really can't say what the result will be sometimes. Sometimes it can be, of course you can apply effects as well. You don't actually have to keep that. You can go to there and focus and maybe soften, super soften. And you can modify the result there as well. So a whole range of different possible designs. And of course once you're happy with the whole thing, you can then say drop that and you've got the design there. Great for some really weird and wonderful colour backgrounds, and of course you can then use other effects, say apply a surface texture, not with paper, but use it with that, maybe create some very unusual 3D paint effects using blobs. Okay, hope you found this of interest. Thank you much.